The following is a RapRadioShow.com exclusive.
So on that note, I say we jump into Survivor Series.
Alright, where do you want to start with Survivor Series?
Well, we have to save the actual physical traditional match for last, because that's going to tie into our question of the night. So I say we don't have a lot of matches to talk about on this show. There are a lot of team matches.
Well, it's Survivor Series.
It's Survivor Series, so I say we start with the Divas traditional Survivor Series elimination tag match, where it's Alicia Fox, Natalya, Naomi, and Emma taking on Paige, Cameron, Summer Rae, and Layla. Okay,
I'm sitting here trying to figure out, okay, if the girls, I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts, because I actually don't know who to pick.
This is a hard one to pick. It's really thrown together at the last minute. There's been really no build to it. It's just literally, oh, hey, we need another Divas match, which I think is awesome that they want 2 Divas matches on the show. And it's a traditional Survivor Series match for the girls, which we don't get to see a lot.
And they put all the girls who can wrestle on this match.
Yes.
So it's not going to be a scary 8-person tag.
No, you've got people that can wrestle, you've got people that kind of can't, but the wrestlers will help to carry those that can't. So it should be a really, really good match. They need to build another contender after Nikki Bella for the Divas title.
But it depends on what, like the thing is, it depends on the outcome of that match. If AJ keeps the belt, then the heel should go over. If Nikki wins the belt, the baby faces should go over. If that makes sense.
I just have a hunch the baby faces are going to go over.
Okay, how come?
I don't know why. I have this hunch that the baby faces go over, that there are going to be problems with the girls on the other side getting along. You could see a potential breakup between Summer and Layla because they're not really doing anything with them. People walk out. Paige has enough. She could leave, and I can picture the baby faces winning this one. Especially with what's potentially going to happen, or at least what I think is going to happen in the Divas match.
We may be on the same page in the Divas match. I'll go with the baby faces. I say Natty gets the win for her team. I think she's the survivor. She may not be the only survivor, but I believe she'll get the final victory over Paige. Yeah, we'll go that. Natty over Paige in the final part of the Survivor Series tag.
Yeah, I can see that, because you build to...
Because then you make Natty the contender. Oh my god, the Raiders just took the lead. It is now going to be 24-20 with a minute and 40 to go.
Wow. Okay, then.
The Raiders may win their first game.
Damn.
And Andy Reid's not happy. Anyway.
He needs his bucket.
He needs his bucket of fried chicken. Anyway.
But yeah, I picture the faces going over here.
So, let's go right into the Divas match then.
AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella for the Divas title. I picture AJ winning, but she wins by DQ.
So we were totally on a different page. You say she wins by DQ when Brie interferes?
Yeah. I can picture, because the month is up, I think, as of this pay-per-view?
Probably.
Or next week?
Probably by SmackDown.
So, Brie will no longer be under the stipulation that she has to be Nikki's personal assistant / slave / whatever you want to call her for a month. So I can see Brie getting some personal vengeance on Nikki and costing her the title, but I can also see Nikki winning clean and Brie challenging for the title.
I'm going with Nikki wins the belt. Brie accidentally helps Nikki win the belt. She's trying to hit Nikki and then ends up hitting AJ. And Nikki wins the belt that way. Like she's trying to get, like she's had enough of Nikki and she's gonna hit her. Nikki ducks, nails AJ with a clothesline, and gets tossed out. The ref's like knocked down or whatever. Brie goes for the clothesline. Nikki ducks, hits AJ. Brie gets dumped out to the outside. Rack attack 1, 2, 3. Nikki Bella is your new Divas champion.
See, I can see Brie finally having enough of Nikki and her shit.
I think we're both on that way, yeah.
And I think she's going to go after Nikki and cost her the belt. And I think AJ wins by DQ.
Okay. Same ending. I have a rough bump and allows Nikki to win. Okay.
Yeah. Same ending, different outcome. So.
Which may sound weird to people, but it is.
Yeah. Not a surprise with us.
No.
So up next we have the entire tag division going for the gold, with your WWE Tag Team Champions, the Dust Brothers, taking on Mizdow, Los Matadores, and the Usos in a fatal 4-way match.
I would say give it to Miz and Mizdow. I really, really would give it to them. But I'm feeling they're breaking them up. I don't know. I don't want to see the Usos with the belts again. I don't care for the Matadors or the Bull.
Kind of over the Bull at this point.
Over the Bull and Hornswoggle, we went on and ran on about on the Raw Post Show Monday night, 11:10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Wild Talk Radio Network.
Ding.
And if our option is Gold and Stardust at that point, I don't know. Maybe give it the... See, I have a feeling... Okay, it all depends on what a New Day is. Are they good guys or are they bad guys? Because I have a feeling they're coming in to be the next set of challengers for the belts. We'll give it to Gold and Stardust, keep the belts, and then I would assume a New Day is babyface. It makes more sense to give it to Mizdow, because that's sort of the hot act at the moment, but I have a feeling they're breaking them up. Because I think Miz is going to get, as we've talked about, Miz is going to get jealous of Sandal's reaction, and now that he has a t-shirt, even more that. I'm going with Golden Stardust. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I say Golden Stardust retain. There's no reason to take the titles off of them. They don't seem interested in putting the titles on anyone else. So, yeah, I say Golden Stardust retain. So, next, the match that I think everybody's kind of waiting to see, or is excited to see, or one of the matches anyway.
The return of Fandango?
No.
But, oh, okay.
Although he may come back soon. You never know.
He's on the pre-show.
He is on the pre-show. Dean Ambrose taking on Bray Wyatt.
I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to let you go.
I'm so goddamn conflicted on this match. I don't know who to pick.
See, I said this on Sunday. I was like, I don't know. This one's really, really tough. And Tim was like, no, this one's simple. It is, but it's not.
It is and it isn't. Because here's the thing. It's one of those that almost calls for no finish. Because you just have them go at each other. You don't have them actually wrestle. This is a fight. This is exactly what this match is. It's Bray's tempting Dean into just a fight. Because that's what he wants Dean to do, and Dean is happy to oblige him in that case. So I would just almost rather this not just become like a non-sanctioned pull-apart brawl between these two, and not have a winner. And keep them even with each other. I'm sorry, that's my call. I can't pick a winner. I don't know who's going to win. it's going to be one of those that's going to have shenanigans. It's going to have to. You can't have Bray beat Dean, and you can't have Dean beat Bray.
There are many cases to make for Dean Ambrose to win. One of them is he lost at Hell in a Cell and would need to get his win back. That's one of the cases people can make, and it's a very viable case, and all the Dean Ambrose fans are making that case. Because many aren't happy that this was the feud he was put in. I think a lot of them have come around, but anyway. That being said, Bray Wyatt needs to win. If the babyface wins the first match, the feud is sort of stale. We saw that with the John Cena feud. We've seen that with the Chris Jericho feud. It just sort of staled out when the babyface got the first win. Let Bray have the advantage. Dean can get his win back at TLC. Give Bray the first win. Let Bray Wyatt beat him. And maybe use a certain brass thing that Dean probably shows up with at Survivor Series. Maybe that will happen. Maybe he'll knock him out with something. Who knows? Maybe Bray will play with magics and, do something crazy. Who knows? I predict Bray Wyatt will win. It won't be the cleanest of wins, but it'll be a win. And it will harken back to the Daniel Bryan feud, where this will be a really good match. Bray Wyatt pulls out the win. And if you remember back at TLC last year, Bray got the first win over Daniel Bryan, and it made people really interested in the feud to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think happens here. Bray gets the win.
Yeah, okay, I'll pick Bray. Like I wasn't going to do that anyway, but yeah, I see your point with that. Bray does need the win, because Bray won against Jericho, but he won on Raw, and nobody really remembers that. And the last time anybody really remembers Bray having a match was, of any real significance was SummerSlam, and he lost.
Right, but here's the thing. Here's what I like they've done. They've been giving Bray Wyatt wins on television lately, which has been
he won at SummerSlam. Never mind, sorry.
He won at SummerSlam and won it on Raw. He won those two. He lost at the July pay-per-view.
Right.
Payback, Battleground, something like that. Payback, I think. No, Battleground, I think it was. Whatever the July one was. I like that they've been giving Bray Wyatt victories on television. It's been over Sin Cara, Jack Swagger, and the like, but they're wins. What they had to stop doing on TV was giving him matches and giving him wins. He's looking like a upper mid-card main event guy right now with dominant wins over talent. Dean's been getting the same thing. They've been letting guys get wins on television, and you know what? Sometimes that needs to happen, because it establishes the guys, instead of doing main event level matches where you really don't establish somebody. And they're not complete squash matches like guys like Rusev were getting. These are these are victories over semi-relevant talent to let those guys enhance the guy they're pushing. And they did that with Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt on main event at SmackDown. And I like that. And I think Bray needs a big solid win on pay-per-view at Survivor Series to continue moving on. So that's my point.
Yeah, I can see that, and I can agree with that. So I'll go with Rock on this one and say Bray.
Oh, and Bray, don't mess with Zeb.
Yeah, he will mess your shit up.
He's a war veteran. Just pointing that out.
And he will mess you up.
Well, yeah, because he's a war veteran. And he's that freaking culture. He's Dutch Mantel. Don't screw with him. Yeah, well, that bruise on the eye that's still not healing? Yeah. He could do some damage, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And now, lastly, the other match I think everybody's curious to see. The traditional Team Cena versus Team Authority Survivor Series Elimination Tag Team match, where we have on Team Cena, Ryback, Big Show, Dolph Ziggler, John Cena, and Erick Rowan versus Seth Rollins, Kane, Rusev, Mark Henry, and Luke Harper. Go. Why in the hell are you having Bray's kids feud?
I was not prepared for this. The wound is still fresh from the split, and you're having the feud already. This is not okay, WWE. Not okay. Somebody tweet that man and tell him to check his children, because they're fighting, and that's not what he wants. They're supposed to burn the world down. Damn it, that's not how you do it. This is why those two require adult supervision at all times. End of discussion.
Good night, everybody.
Let's pick the match.
Good night,
what?
Good night, everybody. That's the end of the discussion. Good night. See ya. We're out of here. Peace. No. 49 seconds left in the game. Down 4 points, and another ruling on the field. This match is interesting. Again, you have the Wyatts on opposite sides, and there was no real split. They were just sort of set free, and it made people curious. Wait, Erick Rowan is on Team Cena? What? He's a good guy? What?
Keep in mind that this is the same Erick Rowan who earlier in the night was stalking Grumpy Cat and stole a stuffed cat because he wanted it.
Kitty, kitty, here, kitty, kitty.
He's also the one who played with Renee Young's hair, who's been wandering around looking for people, who has the psyche of a 5-year-old. Okay? This is Erick Rowan, and I'm not trying to shame Erick Rowan in any way. I adore Erick Rowan. I'm sitting here playing with a little Christmas ornament that has his face on it. But this is, he doesn't have, in terms of the way the character is played, the mental capacity to necessarily make that jump, or at least get me to suspend my belief enough to make that jump from stalking Grumpy Cat to joining Team Cena without someone either on Team Cena or on Team Authority putting him up to it. Now, it could be that he does have that cognitive ability, and he did make that decision. I've seen a lot of theories, a lot of really good theories about why Erick Rowan would do what he's done and join Team Cena, which includes that he's angry at his brother for leaving him. And he's wanting to get his hands on Luke Harper for leaving him. The other theory could be that Luke Harper has put him up to this, because if you notice, on Raw, the two didn't necessarily fight.
They did.
They threw a couple punches.
But again, they're brothers. Brothers fight.
Right, but then Luke backs him in the corner.
Oh, yeah. But again, brothers fight, and they've, in the compound somewhere, they've probably fought hundreds of times. Because that's what brothers do. And I think Eric has a right to be angry because, well, as you said, there was no formal split. Luke just left. Eric just left. He was sort of abandoned by his family.
Yeah. Bray kicked the kids out so he could have alone time with Dean Ambrose.
That's the theory we're working with.
That's more than the theory. Bray Wyatt is in love with Dean Ambrose and he wants alone time. Did you see him cuddle him, for Christ's sake?
He's been pointing his stick at it, and it's at full upright attention when he sees him. And it's going to be official in 23 seconds. The Oakland Raiders upset the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh. Fancy.
They're now 1-10. Congratulations, Oakland.
Hey, everybody's got to win at least one. Maybe. But yeah, and we're not even getting into the stipulation of this match yet. There's huge implications for this match, but which we can now get into and kind of tie back in, but it's part of the stipulations on this match are if Team Cena wins, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H are out of power, which if you actually kind of go through the diagram of power, it would really only be Stephanie McMahon because Hunter was stripped of his power in the walkout, which they don't ever talk about.
But maybe he was, again, I thought about this, like, maybe the board gave him power back, maybe they didn't. You never know. He's the CEO.
Yeah.
He was stripped of power, but he's always been COO, and it's like, what? And then it's like Vince McMahon. The board of directors stripped of him of his powers, but he was able to make this stipulation because he's Vince McMahon. He's the CEO of the company. He's the chairman of the board. He got to make this stipulation, but I thought he was removed of power in 2011. You know, these things sort of if you go back in time and with the new WWE 2K15 and they talk about the stripping of the power in the video game, it sort of goes, huh, okay, well, all right, that sort of makes it interesting. So the other question is Triple H still the COO, or is he fired? There's ramifications that they're not going to really address, but it's like, you think about it, it's like, if this was a stipulation where you're out of power, it means you're out of a job. It's like, huh, okay, where do you go from there?
Well, truth be told, they're the principal owners of the company, and I say they because he's married to her, so technically he shares that burden with her of owning part of WWE. So they will never be truly out of a job. They will never be truly they'll just essentially be out of power for a little bit. But the other flip side to this is that if the Authority wins, then everyone on Team Cena is fired.
Yeah, Triple H announced on SmackDown, spoiler alert everybody, that the Authority will fire every member of Team Cena if the Authority wins. Again, that's his threat. Now, is it a stipulation? That's what we have to find out tomorrow. And that will make things interesting, is it a stipulation or is it a promise?
I would say a little from column A and a little from column B, honestly.
And that's probably what it will end up being. Which, we were talking about this last night, and it's like, people think that it's like, oh, okay, the Authority loses, the Authority wins, and, or the Authority loses and you put someone new in charge. But the more interesting story kind of is firing 5 people.
Potentially 4.
Potentially
based
4,
on my theory.
where Erick Rowan turns on
Team Cena
and helps them win. Yeah, I know.
Or Ryback turns, or somebody
turns, or whatever. You fire a bunch of people, and I guess it's like, oh yeah, you can't really do that because they have house shows and yada yada yada. Well, it doesn't mean they're fired for a long time. They could be fired till Monday and Vince McMahon rehires them, Or Triple H is going to fire them on Monday and Vince McMahon stops them from being fired. You never know. Because it's like, Vince could be like, that was never part of the deal. And again, here, let's go back for a second. There was a contract on signing on Monday, right?
Nothing got signed, but yeah.
Exactly. Nothing got signed. It's like, they had a contract signing where nothing got signed. It's like, huh. Wonder if that plays into something. They never signed the contract. Keep an eye on that.
And that could be a way to get the Authority out of losing the power if they lose, which is that, well, we never signed the contract.
Or it could keep Team Cena with their jobs because they never signed on the dotted line.
Right. So that's one way to get out of either stipulation, is that, oh, well, the contract was never signed. But they can also either catch that up with, it was signed behind closed doors. Something
like that. They verbally agreed to do the match, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter. It was just kind of interesting. I thought about it. I was like, they never actually signed the contract. It was like, okay. So, that being all said, there's many ways to go. I think it's more interesting. Again, my pick, Team Authority wins. I like them. I like them in power. I think it's an entertaining storyline. Other people are tired of it, but I like Hunter and Steph. Steph is brilliant on television. I want to keep her on television as long as we can. That's my personal opinion.
I would agree with that. I think taking the Authority off TV is a mistake because it's going to lead to our question of the night. Is that honestly it's... Because I was thinking about this, and this is how I brought it up, was just sitting here thinking about it, is if the Authority loses, you're going to have somebody take over for them. And that means either Vince McMahon is going to have to come back to TV and take over while the Authority is gone, or you're going to have to name someone else to be in place of the Authority in their absence. Because we all know that they will regain power at some point through various means. But it's like, because they haven't done a setup for that yet, it's not authority figure versus authority figure. It's John Cena and his team versus the Authority's team. I can honestly see the Authority's team winning, especially through somebody turning. Whether it's Ryback, whether it's Rowan, whether it's Cena himself. It's somebody. I can honestly see somebody turning on Cena and giving the Authority the win.
Yeah. I could see that as well, and I have a feeling Survivor Series is going to be there's going to be a big moment on the show that's going to get people talking. At least there should be.
Yeah, because I can see that, especially for Rowan and Harper, they're going to want to save that match because that is something that people are going to want to see. So you hold off on that, and maybe you don't have those two touch a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't have them touch a lot. I would have them maybe one fight, and that's about it.
But yeah, so that leads to the question of the night, which is, who do we think, since we both picked Team Authority to win, but say they don't, who do we think could take over for them?
Well, the people have spoken. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Dino. J.B.L. Paul Heyman. The Micker McFoley. And one person tweeted the response with a picture of coal dust.
JBL and McFoley are interesting choices.
I don't want to. I don't want to go back to McFoley. Been there, done that. I love McFoley, but we've seen the act. Grumpy cat for GM. I think we've seen the act with McFoley. That's just my opinion. I think we've done it. I don't know how much he can add at this point. So I'll throw out two names to you.
Okay.
Because I know the first one you'll jump right on.
Of course.
The Undertaker.
Okay.
Go off. What do you think? What about The Undertaker returning to run WWE?
I think that would be a cool choice. It would be a different way to tell his character. It's a good juxtaposition between him and Kane, because you can renew that rivalry where The Undertaker maybe comes back on another corporate level with Kane, and then you have more of this, them butting heads and kind of brotherly rivalry. He's somebody that he wouldn't necessarily have to be there a lot. He wouldn't have to travel full time. We already know that he's coming back in some capacity to work with NXT. So it's not a stretch for him to be an authority figure on WWE programming. Because like I said, he doesn't have to work a full schedule. People would take him seriously. People would buy him as an authority figure. He's pretty much already an authority figure anyway. Because, it's The Undertaker. He can do whatever he wants type deal. And he's somebody that's really a neutral in terms of WWE, in terms really of their politics. Especially as of late, he's been very benign. He's neither good nor evil. Well, for those types of things.
Well, he is evil, but
he is evil. He's the epitome of evil, and a lot of people forget that about him. But in terms of especially authority type storylines and dealing with authority figures over the last few years, he's really been kind of that neutral.
Right.
Where he, in his mind, he doesn't care about who is actually running the show, about who is doing what to each other. It's how it impacts him. Because for all that he is, he's also a very selfish character. So, selfish is the wrong kind of word, but he's really more concerned about what's going to happen to him than anyone else. So, and I guess that makes him selfish. I don't know, but yeah, I can see
egotistical.
The Undertaker. Huh?
Egotistical.
There we go. I can, honestly, yeah, I can see The Undertaker being a good authority figure. Like I said, people would take him seriously. He would be a good juxtaposition to Kane. He would work with Triple H. He would work with Stephanie. There's a lot of history with those four. You could do new stuff with Seth.
Don't even mention Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker.
Yeah, that would just pop my ovaries so hard. Even the thought of it is just like, ah! But it's a good way to bring him back and ease him back into the product. Because it's something of, he's going to have to come back at some point, and the streak is so far removed at this stage that I think everybody's pretty much accepted it, and we're pretty much over it. And you have to figure out a way to bring him back and ease him back in to eventually move him forward, which is to take him to the Hall of Fame and that kind of thing. And you want to make sure that he leaves on a good note to do that.
Right.
You don't want the last thing that he did to be losing the streak at WrestleMania.
Correct. All right.
So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Did you have a name?
My name was The Undertaker. I can also see them possibly letting Kane run the show.
Kane could run the show. Okay. We'll throw out 3 names, and they're going to be really quick. The easy one, Hulk Hogan.
No.
But he's an option. Just throwing that out there.
He's an option, but he's an option I don't want to say.
No, but you just harken back to your Impact recaps. Brother, dude, brother. Okay.
Brother, sister, mother, father, brother.
Brother. Alright, next one. The man they call Sting. It'd be a way to get him in there. He's someone new. He's someone new. I don't think they'll do it. I don't want to see them do it. But it's a name.
The problem with Sting is while he has the credibility, you would have to introduce him to the WWE audience and really build him up to be that authority figure. If this was 2002 and he was coming off his WCW run, I would say, yeah, absolutely. But now, I don't think Sting is as relevant, and because of that, not many people know who he is, especially in the younger WWE audience. So he may not get the response that he wants. So people like us, we would pop. But, somebody in their target demographic may not, because they may not have watched Impact. They may not have followed Sting's career. They may not be aware of who he is.
But they can be if they get the WWE Network for only $9.99 this month.
Ding!
Free. And the other name, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You don't honestly know. I've seen Austin in the authority role. I don't want to see it again. I would rather see somebody new, different, and kind of fresh than Austin.
I'm with you there. But I'm just, again, throwing names up there. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a big surprise in Survivor Series. I don't know who, I don't know what, but something big is coming in Survivor Series. At least I hope.